Power to the people, we back to do maintenance. Yeah. Matter of fact, it is maintenance going on. You can see I'm in the closet. Now, I mean literally. I'm not suspect. I'm not in the closet, but let's be clear. People know how I carry. Yeah, man, because I moved. There's maintenance going on outside of here, boxes everywhere. So this is why I'm in the closet. I got cameras on the way. I have lights on the way. I have some things on the way. So this is why I just want to do a quick little review because I did watch 2 movies before I moved. So yeah. Next week, I won't be in the closet. Once again. Literally. I figured nothing sus going on. I ain't spooky. So, yeah, I watched 2 movies. I'm going to talk about them real quick. Let's get right into it. I watched The Assistant. Now, this is probably one of the worst movies I've seen this year. And probably one of the worst movies I've seen, period. And I don't even know why that they would even make a movie about this particular topic. First, it's called The Assistant. Now, if people didn't know, nothing interesting is about an assistant. Nothing at all. It's boring. We didn't need Hollywood to let us know that the life of assistant is boring. I'm not even going to talk about the writer, director, or actress that's in the film. It's not even worth it. Terrible film. You just look at if you know anybody out there that's an assistant, just ask them about their life. I know it's not interesting. I know it is not interesting. So moving right along, I'm not even going to waste my time. You don't go watch The Assistant. If I was to rate it, I would give it a 1. It's probably the lowest rating I've ever given a movie, a 1. I finished the film. I was pissed. I give it a 1 because I don't think one is just, it's 1 of 1. So there you go. You get a 1 because it's 1 of 1. I've never seen a movie about assistant. I don't want to see another movie about assistant. Now, let's get to the good film. Salute to Spike Lee. As you can see, repping where Spike is from. You know what I mean? New York City. Gotta salute Spike Lee for this film right here. And Spike has never been caught in anything spooky, so I'm gonna give it up to him right now, because I don't know, I've never heard about him getting to anything wow. So yeah, Spike Lee, man, he did this movie called The Five Bloods. Yes. And when I first saw the trailer, I didn't know what to expect. Like, he didn't really give me much to go off of. So now this movie, it's a whole slew of people in this film, star-studded cast. I had to write their names down, so I didn't want to, I want to come correct this time. It's starring Delroy Lindo, Jonathan Majors, Clark Peters, Norm Lewis, Isaiah Whitlock Jr. It has appearances with Paul Walter Hauser, who is in the movie I, Tonya, and the movie Richard Jewell. That's the star of Richard Jewell. That's him, Paul Walter Hauser. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Chadwick Boseman, and even John Reno. Star-studded cast, man. They did this movie justice, by the way. Now let's get into the synopsis of the film. So The Five Bloods is about 5 cats that were in this platoon. They were like the Brotherhood per se. In the army, all of them were riding together, and one of them dies while they were in Vietnam. One of them dies, which is Chadwick Boseman. He dies. And time has passed where they get together because they left this gold that they found over in Vietnam. So they let it sit, and now they were going back to recover the gold and get his body. They were going to take his body, bring it back to, United States of America. So the gold and the body were priority. Boom. Delroy Lindo, whose character I think name is Paul. Paul was the closest to Chadwick Boseman character, whose name they called him Storm and Norman. They called him Storm and Norman. So Paul and Storm and Norman were pretty close. They were close. And so Paul is on his way back. He got the crew together, but they got together and they're going back to get the gold. Now, Paul's son pops up. Paul and his dad don't really have a relationship. So his son decides to, I guess get close to his dad. He decided to go pop up on, on this whole journey. Decided to go with him. Now, things get dicey. Paul becomes a scumbag. Scum. At first, it was all about the people. When you get the gold, he's gonna get back to the people, and that changed quickly. Paul was all about Paul and getting that gold. They found Chadwick Boseman. He died. They found in the midst of finding the gold, they found Storm and Norman's body. And Paul immediately was like, man, forget that. We ain't got to bring his body back because it was decapitated. Maggots took place, the whole nine. I mean, not decapitated. It was decrepit. Like, the body was done. It was toast. All you seen was a skull. He seen that. He was like, okay, forget about it. New mission. The gold is priority. He's here. Let's move forward. This gold is priority. This is a wrap. He even forgot about giving some of the gold to Storm and Norman's family. Paul's son gets infatuated with this woman over there that they met. He likes her. They met in a bar. I'll get back to that later. So, the five people that were, this brotherhood, they had sort of a pact. Like, they would get the gold and give it to the people. But as we start to see, other people had different agendas between the five. Even Norm Lewis character, everybody thought he had money. They found out he was broke. He was broke to his last dime. He was broke. So it became a gold heist to it's like a morale check. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My bad. It was check of morals. Like, yo, what are we doing here? Like, we was all about the people. Now we're turning into, it's becoming more about ourselves. Clark Peters' character, he had a wife, he had a daughter over there from a woman he met in Vietnam. Got her pregnant. He was with her. Boom. He meets the woman over there. She sets him up with a John Reno, the guy in there, who makes a deal with him. Now, he thought the guy that she set him up with had good intentions. So she gave him a burner just in case, he needed it and whatnot. Let's get into the meat potatoes, man. Listen, man, it went haywire. They got that goal, yo. When they got that goal, it was a wrap. Everybody planes went out the window. Man, it went haywire. Paul started snapping on him. Like, man, forget that, man. We got the goal. We going back, man. Forget Storm and Norman's family, man. We about to split this money between us, and it's a wrap. Now, his son ain't with it. They're trying to, they end up turning against Paul because Paul starts snapping and losing his mind. He has PTSD. He's really losing his mind. He's the only one that has these conversations with Norm. Now, Norm is dead, but he keeps having these conversations with him. So he's on his own path. He's basically turned his back against the crew. He ends up going alone by himself. Now, they had a rendezvous point that when they find the gold, they're going to meet up with John Reno's character and, settle things. He wanted a piece of action for finding the gold over there. So he wanted his cut. He ends up backstabbing them. Now, beknownst to Norm Lewis, Clark Peters' wife, he didn't know about this guy. So they're thinking some of the his brethren are thinking that she set them up, but she didn't. So it's this whole backstabbing. I mean, they are back. The plot twist, man. Come to find out, you wouldn't believe who killed Storm and Norman. Yep, you guessed it. Paul did. It was an accident. He killed Storm and Norman, yo. He killed them. It was an accident. Storm and he was being attacked. Paul got scared, started blasting everywhere with the burner, killed Norm. So that's what it boils down to. He was trying to, I guess, get some closure because he's the one that killed Norm. Nobody knows this but him and Norm is dead. Everybody thinks that Norman died in some firefight, but it was Paul who killed him. Great movie, great cinematography, great story. Man, the score was dope. I have to give it up to Spike Lee, man. Salute, man. I'm going to give The Five Bloods an 8 out of 10. Seriously. I recommend y'all go watch The Five Bloods, man. It's a good movie. Check it out. To the next episode, I won't be in here. I should be in a different space, man. Figuratively. Paw my back. Salute.